My hair is looking so fresh, Mitch. Look at this.
Yeah. Well,
haircut and everything. It's like we weren't in a pandemic for 3. Well, we aren't in a pandemic. What's going on?
fresh cut, fresh internet,
Fresh cut, fresh internet,
fresh produce. Just
fresh
kidding.
hair. Nope. Yeah. We had Domino's for dinner today, so it's
got Domino's in the fridge. I had a free pizza.
What? Well, we've been ordering a lot of Domino's. If you got free pizza from Domino's, man.
There was a time where that was all I knew.
Yeah. Dude, I bet you there's people that are tuning in there and be like, "Whoa, Kyle has hair." Like, been wearing that hat.
Isn't wearing a hat? I know.
Been wearing that hat for a quick minute, maybe like close to 90 days straight.
Is your blood circulation okay to your brain?
Yeah, my head got a little bigger because of the blood was rushing to it.
Well, first off, I guess, hello.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, if anybody's still with us, it feels like it's been a while since we've been live. So
betrayed our viewers.
I know. Well, we've had a lot of work to get done. So it's kind of hard to do that every day. So it's nice to be back and talk about some new stuff. And there's some new stuff coming out.
Yeah. So we're going to talk this episode of Camera Shop Talk is dedicated to like new gear. We're going to talk new gear and potential new gear. All right. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be exciting. And then maybe we'll go into like, I had another failed photo experience. I've had multiple failed photo experiences since the last time we've been on.
Failing is learning.
Failing is learning, or it's just failing because you're unlucky, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Failing is 90% of photography.
Yeah. And the other 10% is the camera.
Yep.
That's how we sell cameras here at Englewood.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna fail 90% of the time, but if you buy this camera, you'll succeed.
Yeah, all we do, guys, is press buttons. I don't know what. It's just photography is so easy.
Anyway, so let's get down to gear talk because that's what all 3 of our listeners right now are wanting.
Well, thank you, 3 of you.
Yeah. So you can't see how many people are watching right now.
No, I can never see. Which I kind of like. Because I can't. I don't change my mood based off of numbers then. So.
Right. I try not to, but every once in a while I kind of like put off until we've got like a couple more people watching, and then I start talking about stuff.
Just put a smiley face sticker over that info on the screen.
Right. Exactly. So let's get down to this new gear. So the first one I wanted to talk about, and it was kind of leaked last week, and I was like, that would be an interesting lens. Mm-hmm. Sigma unveiled a 100 to 400 5.6 to 6.3 lens for mirrorless cameras, and when they that's the petapixel headline, all right, and so that's kind of misleading because there are a lot of mirrorless cameras out there, and so Sigma released this lens for Sony E-mount and for L-mount series lenses like Panasonic's full frame, Leica's full frame, and Sigma's own body.
L-mount.
The
Panasonic bodies are pretty cool. I've only gotten to hold on to one once.
They're heavy though, man.
They're heavy, but they're built really well. So
that's true.
They're nice. The people who are using them probably love them.
It's like a Leica SL, but with the Panasonic name on it.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. They got really nice viewfinder too. Is it really a 5.6 to 6.3?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm getting blown up right now via text message. But it's a 5.6 to 6. Oh, it's a 5 to 6.3. Sorry, man, I can't read today. They're spreading misinformation.
Is it smaller?
It looks pretty small here. It's got what they call a dual action zoom.
A dual action.
Yeah. So
is it internal?
No, it's not internal.
Oh man.
It's not an internal zoom.
And that's 2 strikes. It better be small.
It looks fairly small when it's put on it looks smaller than the Sony 100 to 400, that's for sure. It looks a lot, Mitch, it looks a lot like are you still there?
Yeah.
I see. I'm so used to freezing that I don't know if you're quiet, if I'm just frozen.
No, everyone. Kyle's internet is fixed.
I'm on the new and improved internet.
Why don't you just tell everybody your numbers? You're just
man,
itching to say
it's crazy. I just did my speed test. I'm pushing 290 megabytes a second.
There we go. Those are bragging numbers, right?
Those are brag, and I am a solid, 100 feet from the router. So before this all went down, and by this I mean me getting better, faster internet. I didn't get faster internet. I bought an access point and I brought the internet closer to my office. But I was getting like 20, 15 megabytes a second. It was not good.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't good at all.
And all the viewers are like, "Yep, it sucked, Kyle.
It sucked. It's so much. We lost so many Warzone games.
We lost a lot of Warzone games because of this. So
anyways, we were talking about the Sigma lens.
Yeah.
And you've got some images, maybe? Or
yeah. I'm not prepared, Mitch. Hold on.
That's all right. We only had 2 weeks to figure it out.
Is this it? Okay, that's it. But where is it on a body? Let's see here. Just gonna take a screenshot here. So this is the 100 to 400 for Sigma. Now it's not it's not a sport version. It's contemporary. Contemporary, yeah. Mm-hmm. So let that be known. Okay.
Now I forgive it for being external zoom.
Yeah. If it was a sport version, you would expect it to be an external zoom.
No, just if it was a sport version, I would have expected it to at least be faster. But
right. Well, I mean, a 100 400. The what's the G Master?
It's 4.5 to 5.6.
Oh, is it a 4.5 to 5.6?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here it is, folks. So it looks
like the same size, but I bet that's a whole lot cheaper than the G Master, huh?
Oh yeah, and yeah, let's get to the price point on this thing, man. So, and also they're putting out 1.4 and 2 times teleconverters for the mirrorless too.
Oh, nice.
So. And a new USB dock for them.
A new dock? Nice.
Well, it's a USB dock for mirrorless.
Well, that would just be for updates then, huh?
Right, it would just be for updates.
Yeah.
But let's find the price here. Give me 1 second. You're looking at about $950.
Oh, hey, that's substantially less.
Yeah, the G Master is what, $2,500.
Yeah, new. You could get them used for about 2,000.
Yeah. So
but still, that's a pretty good deal. Range is hard to come by on the E-mount for less than $1,000 like that. So I was initially like, ooh, but I thought it was going to be a sport lens. So this is different. This is a little bit better of a offering, I think.
Uh-oh. Someone's upset. Joe Martinez is upset. Joe, why you give us this angry emoji? Are you upset that it's not the sport version? Or are you upset at the price?
Hey,
I don't want to call out viewers.
Contemporary. The fact that there is a certain line that they're releasing and not just a Sigma 100 to 400 means this will not be the only 100 to 400 that they release. So
you think?
Yeah, for sure. If they've got the contemporary line, they'll have the sport line, they'll have the art line. I think it's the writing's on the wall for that. So
I can see that happening. So yeah, Sigma 100 to 400, pretty sweet. I like the way it looks, but every Sigma lens just looks like they've soldered an MC11 onto the back of it to make it work on mirrorless.
Well, it doesn't help that they changed the finish from the mount side to the actual barrel of the lens, but when you use them or when you hold it in person, it doesn't look as weird as it's hard to photograph. Ironically, it's hard to take a picture of this and make it look like it matches the camera body because all the textures are so different. But in reality, when you're looking at them, they don't look bad. I actually like the way they look when they're on the camera. They're just usually they're very big. So
I think that there's a weight thing here. Let me see what we're looking at weight wise.
That front element looks small. It looks like
the front element is. Does it say? Oh, it says on the thing. It's 67 millimeters.
Yeah, it looked like it.
So it's going to be pretty small. It's got a ton of buttons, man. There are It's got an autofocus lock button on the side of it, which is kind of cool. 2 different modes for optical stabilization, and then it's got 3 different kind of focusing distance stuff.
I'm sure it's sharp too. I think I was just talking to somebody in the store the other day about what is the most like versatile landscape lens, in my opinion. I think this range is it. I think 100 to 400 is probably the best landscape lens. That's my opinion. So
100 to 400 is the best landscape lens. Yeah, I mean, if you should always have a telephoto in your bag if you're shooting landscapes.
Yeah. And so I really like what the quality of Sigma lenses. I really haven't used one in the last like 5 years that I really didn't like. Like if it was like optically, not just like it's pure image quality perspective. And for $950, if you just spent all your money on an A7R4, that would be a pretty decent landscape lens, I think. So.
Right, that's true. So hopefully we can get some of these on order. They weigh 40 ounces.
Okay.
So imagine, that's
what's that compared to the Sony? I don't know what the Sony weighs.
I don't know. Let's see. Sony 100, 400 GM weight. That weighs. Wow, this is 3.08 pounds. And so what is 40 ounces in pounds? Because math. 40 ounces is 2.5 pounds. So this is weighing what, almost like a half pound lighter than the G8 Master.
That's a pretty big difference, especially if you're hiking a lot. So
trying to fit it in your bag or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I don't know. This picture doesn't make it look any smaller to me, but it might be. I mean, it'll be a little bit thinner.
Yeah,
I think if you take
they also have
collar off.
The diameter is 86 millimeters or 3.4 inches. But the Sony diameter is 3.7 inches. So it is a little smaller.
That's cool.
And lengthwise, it's what the Sony length is 205 or 8.07 inches, whereas this one is 7.8 inches.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little tinier.
Yeah, I guess the most exciting thing about that, 400 millimeters on a full frame body for E-mount for less than $1,000.
Yeah,
that's a good news for E-mount users because it's been a struggle.
Right. So it was always like, and it'd be great for APS-C users as well.
Oh yeah.
You put it on an A6500 and you've got a hell of a lens. So
really good range. It's nice.
Let's get down to the next thing, Mitch.
Let's do it.
All right. So that was our Sigma stuff. We wanted to talk about that Sigma stuff.
You're welcome, Sigma.
Yeah. Have your people call our people. But it looks like the EOS R5, the R6, and a buttload of lenses are coming early July.
Yeah, that's I guess not a big surprise. It felt like it's been this whole time. It feels like Canon's just had this huge, garage of stuff that they're just waiting to unleash on all of us. So, and we've always known that Canon probably maybe goes through a little bit more R&D than well, I shouldn't say R&D, goes through a little bit more testing than Sony maybe does, and they kind of, maybe this isn't true, but it sort of seems like they make sure their stuff works before they release it. Sony tends to just chuck stuff out and hopes it sticks, and for that, it's worked.
It's sticking.
It's sticking. But some things are like, they'll make a mistake and then they'll improve on it instantly, and that I think moves a little quicker. So it seems like they're really ahead. But some of the stuff from Canon coming out is like really good looking. So that's exciting. Any details on? Yeah.
So the rumors are, and these are some weird lenses, man. Crazy lenses.
Yeah, they've been.
To be honest with you, I don't know. I'm not super interested in a ton of them, but I'm interested in some of them. Especially, I mean, if the EOS R is as great as it seems like it's going to be, depending on the price, I might switch from my A7R4 just to have a mirrorless body in the bag still, but go Canon so I can adapt all my EF glass. But The new RF glass is rumored to be the much needed 51.8.
Is it $200?
I don't know. Probably not.
I hope it's.
I hope maybe it's like
50 price.
Yeah, hopefully it's a nifty 50 price. It's a 1.8 IS.
Yeah, that'll probably be
probably $350.
Yeah, that'll probably be the first lens everybody gets with the RF system.
Right. It's a great. I mean, their little pancake is a good lens. 7200 f4, which is super interesting to me.
Good.
Because if they made that 7200 2.8 so small, I mean, how small is f4 going to be?
Well, I'm a stickler for that internal zoom. I hope it's internal.
What if they made the f4 internal
and it was the same? You know, it was small like that. I would love that. I'd be all over that.
That would be pretty sweet.
That whole debate about the size of the lens mount, you know, Canon's mount is a little bit bigger than the E-mount, and the Nikon mount is gargantuan, and they've claimed that they can make those more extreme fast lenses smaller.
Right.
They made the fast lenses so far, but they're not any smaller. But they're it's cool. I hope maybe that's the one that could give you that really compact telephoto lens.
Yeah. That would be a sweet, cool little zoom to have and that would be a great landscape lens.
Oh yeah, for sure. That one and the 100-400 are both really good.
85 millimeter f2 macro with image stabilization.
Macro.
Yeah.
Did it say what like ratio it was? Was it 1:1?
No, this is just skeptics. Like, you know, they're kind of just scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Gotcha. Yeah. That sounds cool to me, actually.
It'd be interesting because the 85 they put out now is super expensive.
Yeah, I mean it's really pretty. That 85 1.2 is an amazing new lens, but I think it'd be cool to have because an 85 f2 would be fine for portraits, especially if you have full frame. But to do double duty, I feel like that'd be a really popular wedding lens, actually.
Right, that could be. That'd be pretty awesome. Sweet. And then another interesting focal length, the 100 to 500 millimeter f4 to 7.1.
Ooh, 100 to 500?
100 to 500.
Oh, wow.
It's got to be pretty small. It's a 7.1.
Yeah, that's like,
I don't know.
It's really dark.
It's a pretty crazy. Wait, it gets darker, Mitch. It gets darker. Are you ready for this next one?
Oh, no.
A 600 millimeter f11 DOIS.
How does? Well, they must have some crazy autofocus system on this new camera,
right?
Because f11 is
real dark.
Yeah.
And then an 800 f11 DO with image stabilization. Both those lenses had. So
if you're, hey man, maybe if you're shooting the moon.
Yeah,
I guess.
There's nothing I love more than a picture of the moon.
Yeah, Matt.
But if you're watching and just get to troll him silently. But yeah, it would be a great thing, you know. They should have come out with an 800 f11 for the Eclipse. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully that's cool. I guess if you really need the range, you can't really get an 800 easily. That's a range that just escapes most people.
How much does an 800 millimeter f11 DO cost? Just put it out there. What do you think?
$1,400.
You're gonna say $1,400 for 800 millimeter lens?
It's f11.
Yeah, that doesn't. I don't know, man. There are other DO glass like there's like 7300 DO. It was pretty expensive.
So I'm picturing like you know on like the film mounts you could get a 500 millimeter or something that was like a f8 or something like that, and it would be pretty small.
Right.
And I just feel like that's probably what this is going to be. It's going to be a kind of a small lens that will be that 800 millimeter, but if it's f11. It's like I think my assumption or my guess, prediction, whatever, is that this is some crazy number to say, look, we have this range, this range, for affordable amount of money, and the fact that it's affordable is also the fact that it's f11.
Right. And if you want to be what Dave Z from the AP, a local press photographer, would say, big ballin', you would put a 2x teleconverter on the back of that, and they're coming out with a 1.4 and a 2x for like their telephoto lenses.
And you'll never go above a 15th.
It was like you're shooting like f/22 then, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are kind of the
that's those are not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah.
I was thinking more wildly fast stuff like a 200 f/1.8 or something like that, but or I think you were hoping for a 135 1.4.
135 1.4 would have been dope. And, if this EOS R5 can shoot 20 frames a second, I was kind of hoping for a long fast prime, like a 300 2.8 or something like that.
Yeah, I wonder if that's just not.
Dude, if Canon puts out a 300 2.8 before Sony puts a 300 2.8 out,
yeah, that would be.
It's just like kind of.
That's a tough spot for Canon because they've not really. They haven't. Gone. They haven't started to kill off the EF stuff yet,
right?
And it's kind of like we know it's starting like now, kind of, but they haven't done it for 10 years like Sony did to the A-mount. They haven't just ignored, their existing mount. So, and I don't know, what is it, like 99% of their shooters or sports shooters are using EF, and it's definitely slower. Maybe this R5 just cranks up the speed, and maybe they have a new adapter or something that just makes the existing lenses work really, really fast. But most of those new lenses are quick on mirrorless because they're all fly-by-wire systems. So it's like, I don't know. That's a tough spot for Canon, and I don't even know if I don't want to be in their position right now.
Right.
Like they've got a bunch of cool stuff coming out, but you've got like probably one of the most loyal shooters on Canon, and for good reason, because those cameras are fantastic.
Right.
And they just work. You can have a A9 Mark II and get great images, but so is the guy with a 5D Mark II. He can get great images too. So it's like getting people to switch. I feel like the sports lenses are last thing on their radar, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that was the last thing on Sony's radar too.
Yeah,
they put those lenses out, and it took a couple of years. So I don't expect it from Canon, but
yeah, you're right though. It'd be cool. I'd love to see it.
A 300 2.8 would just kind of they'd just be like, oh,
maybe a 300 f/4.
A 300 f/4 would be cool too.
That would attract, I think, both crowds. You'd get the wildlife people and sports.
That 300 f/4 for Canon EF, it's an okay lens.
Yeah, it's old though.
It's an old lens. Yeah, even when I used it, it just kind of had a lot of chromatic aberration, and all this stuff was going on in it.
Nikon's got everybody beat with their 300.
The 300 f/4 is just the sharpest thing on the face of the planet.
It's so good.
It is sharper,
and it's so small. Like you just want to shoot it.
It's sharper than a Jedi's sword. I'm telling you. Right, Jedi's. They have swords, man. Right, Jedi's.
Is it sharp though? It's light. You could say hotter.
It's hotter. I think. I don't know. I was just doing that to make you go like cringe.
Well, I did. Mission accomplished.
There we go. Got you to cringe. And then the last thing on my agenda before we talk about my photography failures, maybe we can. You were there for one of our photography failures.
So I got a front row seat to that one.
So, let's look here. The Tamron announced a 28 to 200, which is actually it's not announced it, like they released it, like you can order
buy that lens.
Yeah, and so it starts at 2.8, which is interesting, and it goes to 5.6. It's a 28 to 200. It's for full frame. So
I mean, that sounds like just the perfect travel lens, kind of. If you're, let's say you do everything and you cannot pick between street photography, if you're traveling to another country or something, you want to capture their culture, stuff like that, or you can't decide between capturing wildlife, or you can't decide between getting the night sky. It's like it can do all those things, it seems like, and pretty well. So it's a cool range. Something that does not the only other option is the 24 to 240 for Sony,
which is a hunk of glass.
and like not that great.
Yeah.
You know? And
I remember when that lens came out, someone's like, I want to shoot action with this. And I'm like, ooh.
Do you have specs of the weight on that lens?
Yeah, let's see.
Now that we're all fresh on ounces.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. So it's a 2.8 at 28 millimeters, and it's a 3.5 at 50.
That's pretty good.
So there's a pretty solid chunk of f2 ish stuff, But let's see. It's going to weigh 20.3 ounces.
Oh wow!
So it's a pound, like a little over a pound, huh?
Yeah,
that's a super light telephoto.
Yeah, for sure. I think my first lens ever was an 18-200, and I hated it. It was so heavy. Yeah. And so Tamron makes their lenses mostly out of plastic too, which helps. And it's good plastic. I mean, I really like I prefer it over what like some of the heavier lenses are made out of. But yeah, if it's just a pound like that, that'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, that 18-200 I had was like an absolute beast.
It was a Nikon, right?
No, it was a Sony. It was.
Is it that big silver one?
Yeah, I call it the beer can.
Yeah, it was the beer can. It was a nice lens from Minolta.
Oh, is there a real?
Are you familiar with the beer can lens?
No.
It was an 80-200 f4, and it was it looked like a tall boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a great lens. We've had a few come in the store. Those things are expensive still. That's crazy. But yeah, that 18-200 Sony lens is gigantic
and terrible.
Yeah, they made a new version of it, right?
The new one's better. The old one has like some sort of. It was designed to be used for video only, and so if you used it on a I had it on an A6000, and it couldn't utilize the autofocus speed of the A6000.
Right.
It was just like this constant slow hunting thing, and the lens creep. Oh my God. It never was not at 200. It was just always at 200.
It's good for you if you're shooting wildlife, you just whip it up.
Yeah, it's always ready. But that sounds like a cool lens. It's 28-200. For somebody, that's the perfect thing they've been waiting for. So exactly. And that one's not expensive either, right? Somewhere around
it was like is it $750?
$750. That's
or $790. Hold on. Don't quote me. $729.
$729. Decent price for that. Yeah. For what's on there. I think that's priced perfectly. So
we had a customer already message our Instagram and say, "Hey, I want that lens and I want the 21.8," and I think that's a killer travel setup.
For sure.
In case you want to shoot wide but have a lot of aperture, fast aperture, and then you want something that's got a telephoto zoom to it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of encouraging that it's 2.8 and then it goes to 3.5 at 50 millimeters. So you have a couple of millimeters there.
And 5.6 is not that slow,
right?
At 200, most of the time, a super zoom like that at 200 is going to be like 6.3,
right?
So 5.6 is a pretty decent bump up.
Yeah. All right, are you ready for me to humble myself, Mitch?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, sweet. Well, the first one was when we went up to
Pikes Peak.
And I'm not afraid to say this because I feel like we got gypped. Don't you think we got gypped?
Can I say on here?
Say whatever you want.
There's got to be people here who agree with me, but I don't think I'll ever go up there.
I don't care if that thing. I don't care if Pikes Peak has a fountain of gold that you can stick your hand in. Yeah. And you become a millionaire. I won't go to the top of Pikes Peak again.
Yeah, I won't either. It was a massive disappointment. I feel bad, honestly, for anybody who really loved going up there before. Right. If you want to know what we're talking about, there's all this construction going on top of Pikes Peak. The entire perimeter of the peak is all going to be leveled and turned into this like amusement park, basically.
Cool observation deck that I'm sure is going to have a great view, but they shouldn't let people up there right now.
Yeah.
Like, don't take people's money.
Yeah, to go to the very top. But also, like, when that's done, every other mountain to me is going to be better because the attraction is the mountain. I don't need to go to see this glass window. I want to go up there to be up at 14,000 feet, to be at a very tall point, not
There's a lot of other
in a
mountains.
building out there.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. That takes away from the whole experience. I'm very salty about it.
And to be the devil's advocate, Mitch, we could have walked to the top. We could have hiked a 14er and been at the top of a 14er and seen this beautiful view. But we wanted to go to America's mountain.
Yeah.
And so we got there. They charged us $45 for their carload. We got in. They drove us up to the top once we got to the parking lot at like mile 16. And then we got there, and I instantly, like, there were more construction workers than there were rocks.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. You
bad,
couldn't take a picture without an excavator in the shot.
Yeah, there's nowhere to see them. So we went back down to the parking lot, and
they were like, "Oh, there's one viewing center," and there was a line to go see the viewing center, and
there was no view. It was a tractor and a Ford Super Duty.
Yeah, which is so disappointing. But
yeah, it sucked. But so that was our Pikes Peak fail. If you're trying to see something, hike Long's Peak or something like that.
Yeah.
Long's Peak, Bierstadt. You can't do Mount Evans right now. Maybe you can hike Mount Evans, but you can't drive up there. And then I've been going up to Boulder recently for whether it be like shoots. I had that shoot with the marathoner from the Canadian Olympic team a couple of weeks ago, and I've been looking for wildflowers up there. And so I'd gone up another time with Dina, my girlfriend, and we went hiking, and we looked around and saw some flowers and stuff. And I saw this gigantic bed of future poppies, right? And so I'm just waiting for these poppies to go. And so we went up there again to shoot wildflowers, like the lupin they have up there, or lupine, whatever you want, however you want to pronounce it. But the cool purple flowers, both Flatirons had a lot of those. Chautauqua did. And so we went up there, took some pictures, kind of got gassed by like wind, and there was no sunlight, or there was no clouds above the Flatiron. So it was just a really like kind of boring scene. But we checked on the poppies, and they were starting to bloom, but they weren't too crazy. And I said, these are going to be crazy in like 4 days. So we planned to go Sunday morning. We're going to get like the alpenglow on the Flatirons. We're gonna get the good morning light on these poppies. We get there in the morning, and from what I heard, is poppies aren't a native flower to the Chautauqua like park, like the trails and stuff like that. It's just not a native flower. And so the city of Boulder, or Boulder Parks and Rec or whatever, came in and like just killed all the poppies. Killed them all. They're all just laying there dead, all brown and stuff. I literally thought someone like took the pit. All this stuff was going through my mind. I was like, man, what could have happened to these poppies? Did someone take the most epic shot and then just destroy them so no one else could get it? And then I looked, and it sounded like that the city of Boulder went in and took out the poppies. So, but Mitch, I did get a shot of the poppies before they were fully bloomed. Now let me show you, and then picture every little green pod bloomed at the same time or around the same time. Okay, are you ready?
Mm.
You're ready? You're super ready.
100%.
Okay, hold on. I gotta stop screen share. Share the screen. Oh, my cat's here. I'm in the office, and so now the cats are super interested in everything I'm doing. Here we go.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
really good color.
Yeah, they were beautiful. But see all these little ones? All these ones,
yeah.
They hadn't bloomed yet. And we were going to come back in like 2 days and shoot these things.
Yeah.
And it was going to be epic. So I got burnt by the city of Boulder, or whoever decided that poppies shouldn't be at the Flatirons.
Hayden, are poppies an invasive species?
Poppies?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
She went to.
You went to school for. Oh,
yeah. Anyways, they must be.
They must be
where they're not supposed to be. But
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's something bad. Maybe some bug or something that affects everything else comes with it, and that's why.
That's true. It could. You never know. But I was super upset. I still got a poppy shot, so, but it could have been better.
That one looks good.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
The light on the mountain is nice.
Is that just one shot, or did you stack it?
That's just one shot.
Just one. Nice.
Yeah, my A7R4. Okay. I picked you up because I wanted you to be near me. Okay, yep, that's cool. Do whatever you want.
This is why we can't win in Call of Duty, because there's always a cap.
This is happening while we're trying to take on like other teams in trios and quads. Everyone.
Yep.
You're gonna turn around, or you're just gonna show everyone your butt? Come on. No. Okay, it's just his butt. This is all it's gonna be. That's all it's gonna be here. So yeah, those are my two recent photo fails.
Yeah. Now we have a future plan to do water rafting.
Yeah, we're gonna go out. We're gonna go do whitewater rafting here in like a week or so. We can have 10 days.
I think I'm gonna take my already broken RX 100 with me.
Just like let it see how it does.
Yeah, and just if it dies, it dies. If not, yes.
Yeah, there we go. Way to go, Pills. Turned around so everyone can see your pretty face.
That's a hero pose.
Oh, look at that thing. Above the, it looks like he's about to. Where are you going?
He looks like twice the size since the last time I saw him.
These things are getting pretty big, pretty fast.
Yeah.
So, but they're still like, it doesn't really hurt that he's on my shoulder still. So he's not too heavy. But he's watching birds outside right now, so he's super interested.
Gonna catch another weird bug.
Yeah, they've been bug hunting, moth hunting. It's been a lot of fun to see. So,
all right, everyone. Yeah. Well, we'll be back next week with another. Maybe we'll have more images to show and things like that. We'll probably, hopefully, have more news to talk about. And that's kind of the whole point of doing the weekly thing, is that more things happen in a week than every day. So
yeah, we were not as bored.
Yeah,
boring.
Yeah, today we had a whole list of things to talk about, which was nice. Yeah. Hopefully, the same thing happens next week. Thank you to anybody who came back and watched. Really appreciate it. No thanks to you though, Glenn. Where are you at, man? Well, he must be already about his day. We're so late now. That's true. I'm sure there's a way to say that in Australian slang, but I don't know how to. So where are you gonna go? All right, let's get out of here. This has been Camera Shop Talk with Englewood Camera for this week. We'll see you next week. Come into the camera shop. We're open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 9 to 5. Bring a face cover. See you. Please. Thank you. Bye.